I'm here, and if everybody can just put in a one in the chat box really quickly, just let me know that you can hear me okay. I know you can see the screen. Just type in a one there. We got some yeses, and Chip says one. We got some ones from Rick. We got lots of ones. Okay, super. So with that, I will go ahead and get started. So I'm just do a standard intro on here. This webinar is not about me, it's about you guys, but I need to give you a little bit of background because it leads into everything else later. So really, my whole story is about change, and I think everybody's about change. Everybody is in one place in their life, and they probably want to get to another. So let's go ahead and do that, and let's see here, move on. So anyways, this was me on the left hand of your screen. When I was 41 years old, back in 2009. I was a completely different person back then. I had a lot of issues, not just income, but lifestyle issues, everything. I ended up, after my wife and three kids had decided they had enough of me and just mosey on out, I found a contest. It was a contest by Bill Phillips, and Bill Phillips is really well known for Body for Life, and he did another contest thing called Transformation. And I was actually living in the backseat of a car at the time. It was about midnight. I was outside of a Starbucks, kind of sucking their free internet service, and I ran across that, and the prize was $50,000. And I thought, man, this would be great if I could win this and turn my life around. Well, I ended up winning the contest, and that really began my change at 41 years old. Because I won the contest, I ended up being on the cover, and there's 2 chapters in the book about my whole transformation story, both physically and financially. And I got under Bill Phillips' whole system, his company. I started speaking all over the world about his transformation process and stuff. The thing that I didn't have figured out at the time, after I won the contest, I said, man, I've made a lot of changes in my life, but I didn't have the financial piece figured out. And I was hanging around a lot with Bill Phillips. He has a home in Beverly Hills, and a lot of other really incredible people who had made tremendous changes in their lives as well. And financially. When you start hanging around with people like that, you start to kind of think bigger. And so at the time, I thought, geez, I need to figure out my financial standpoint. So I bought this course here. Some of you may recognize it, some of you may not. It actually isn't that long ago, but internet-wise, it was a long time ago. It was Mike Keenan's course, Main Street Marketing Machines. It's all about how to market to offline people, bring offline businesses, local plumbers, electricians online. And I did that. And it worked out really well. I did extremely well at it. But the problem is that when I started that business and I was just getting things kind of started out, this was my home right here. This actually is a 1982 Mercedes. And what a lot of people don't know about these kind of old beastie cars is that you can very easily convert them from diesel to run off of vegetable oil. So I had an arrangement with a local restaurant where I would pick up their vegetable oil and filter it out, and then that was my fuel because I didn't have a job at the time. And that's where I slept, right in the back seat there. Anyways, through Bill Phillips and the transformation process, I went through there, and then Mike Keenan's. I applied all the principles that I learned from Bill Phillips into my business. You can do not just the same for physical and business. You can't really compartmentalize success. You've got, rarely do I see people exceed their personal development in business. Long story short, got my wife back. We never did get a divorce. This is actually a second marriage we did just to celebrate my changes and stuff, and then our kids got to see our wedding. They didn't get to see our first wedding because they weren't around then. So things changed a lot. I went from an older Mercedes to a new Mercedes, and I was speaking all around the world, both about transformation and for Bill and his company, and then for also about transforming your business as well. There was an entire year where it's just me and Paula Abdul. We just spoke all over the country. And I would always be the keynote end speaker. She was the first speaker, and she's a tough one to follow because sometimes she gets a little crazy, and then she starts doing her dancing bit and stuff. She's a tough act to follow, but she's a great little lady. I'm not very tall, and she's about 5'2", just a tiny little thing. But she has an incredible transformation story of her own that a lot of people are not aware of. It's me and Bill Phillips running a marathon. We did this for charity. We raised almost $250,000. I got tons of interviews, television stations and stuff. This is me and Mike Keeney. We're doing an interview here. And then kind of the highlight of that whole kind of period when I was really doing well with my online business was I got a call from Dan Kennedy's office. I don't know how many people on the call knew who Dan Kennedy is, but when they called my office, I had no idea who he was. And they said, hey, he'd like to interview you for the success you've been having. And he was talking about my business success. And I said, no, thank you. And then someone called me back and said, we kind of get the feeling maybe you don't know who Dan Kennedy is. I ended up spending, and then I looked online. I said, well, I should probably do this. So part of the deal is that he'll fly me down there. He's in Ohio. And he'd do an interview. This is for a show, a television show. He was doing an interview. And at the time, it was in 2009. It was about something about recession-made millionaires. And then I got to, as a trade-off, I got to spend an entire day with him just talking about my business and the ways he can improve it. And he's truly a genius. But so the reason he wanted to interview me is because this is my 2009 tax returns. And that's my personal, that's $1.6 million. And so what I'd like to do on here for the rest of the phone call is share with you how I went basically in my offline business from making a few $1,000s to really ending the year with making quite a bit of money for most folks out there. So with that, let's go ahead and get started with it. So really what Dan Kennedy helped me do, and some other mentors as well, is they really helped me kind of reinvent my business. When I first got started, I was doing everything for local businesses. I was like, hey, you want to get on, at the time it was the 7-pack, I think. So you want to get in the Google 7-pack? Yeah, we'll help you do that. You want to get more reviews? We'll help you do that. You want better reputation? We'll do that. You want better SEO? And although I did very well, I was working literally sometimes 24 hours a day. I started to feel the crunch of other competitors from overseas coming in. And I wanted to kind of build more of a lifestyle business where I was free to travel and spend time with my family. And I do today, for anybody who follows me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, or YouTube. Last 4 years, me and my 3 kids and my wife, we travel all over the world full time. That's what we do. I'm in Barcelona right now. We spent all of the winter month and a half in Vietnam, so on and so forth. And I really wanted to build that lifestyle, and I wanted to build a model of my business really after Google AdWords, not a consulting business, because that's what I was. I had a consulting business where you're an offline business owner. We're going to do your SEO. We're going to make sure your site's optimized, blah, 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 blah. And although if you do it well, you can do really good at it, it's just taxing and exhausting. And you don't really have something special, because anybody can do on-page optimization. Anybody can do SEO. And then there's always other people that can come in and undermine you, particularly from the other side of the planet. If you're in the US, there's millions and millions of people willing to do the same work just as good, if not better, for less. So I wanted to offer something unique. And I really, when I was with Dan Kennedy and you gotta understand, I realized how special it is now. Right then I kind of did, but it was me and 5 other people that he interviewed for his television show. And the next day we got to spend like 10 hours in a hotel room, and we just went around the entire time and just talked about our businesses, and he gave us feedback. And for those of you who know who he is, he's literally a genius. There's no doubt about it. So anyways, he helped me kind of boil this down. And he and Bill Phillips are part of the reason of where I am today. So anyways, so when you look at business owners, what do they really want? My mindset at the time was, they want to be number 1 on Google or on page 1 above the fold. They want to have a high converting site, good social standing, and stuff. And they want to be ranking in the Google places, which is the Google 3-pack today. But that's not what they really want. when you break it down to what they really want, it's all about this. They just want leads. They want live prospects. If you're a plumber, if you're a handyman, if you're an attorney, if you're a physical therapist, whatever, local business owners in any country, okay, you just want live prospects. You don't want to deal with all the other stuff that's involved in it, because as a business owner, you're just frankly way too busy to do with it. Okay. So that's what I did. I shifted my business over, and things really changed from there. So another business that has done this very well, they're formerly known as Service Magic. That's when I first got to know them. But they're now Home Advisors, and they're in the business of just selling leads. So I kind of want to demonstrate through them how powerful this is. And then I want to share with you kind of where I've gone financially from one point, $5 million in income to more. So I'll show you that in a second here. So this is, Home Advisors. This is back in actually 2012, if you look at the article. And they were selling leads. They still do. That's what they're in. They're in the lead gen business. They're not in the SEO business. They're not in the consulting business. They're in the lead gen business. That's where the money is. But when I was preparing for this presentation, I said, well, that's kind of outdated, 2012. Where are they now? And where are they now is, as this was the most recent article I could find, they're about 700 million. Now, that's a lot of growth, right? But my business has actually grown more than that. So this is a snapshot that I took right before this phone call. This is February 1st to February 25th. This is my business income purely for my lead gen business on there. Now, granted, I've got 36 employees, and we've got about a 40% overhead. But that's it. In fact, I don't want anyone to think on here that I've done anything with that. Here, let me because I just did this minutes ago. So here it is. Look, I'm still logged in, right? Okay, so this is it. I'm still logged in. So I want you to know this is the real deal, because there's a lot of imposters out there. Okay, so and I have about 40% overhead. Okay, so but that's not even the end of the month. And if you were on the webinar a couple days ago, you can see this number's increased. Okay, because that's the way it goes. So this is a really, and I should emphasize here that results vary, right? And I've worked really hard at doing this. So I have two methods. I keep my business very simple now. I have two methods to drive traffic to my lead gen sites, and I sell those lead gens. And I sell them on autopilot, by the way, because I model my business after Google AdWords. I'm not in the consultant business. I travel around the world. I don't want to be feely and on the phone with the customers, okay? Because right now I'm in Barcelona. I'm 6 hours ahead of New York. So what is it, 11:15 there right now? And I'm 9 hours ahead of East Coast, which they're just kind of waking up, right? They're awake and just had their probably first cup of coffee. And my time right now, it's almost 6 o'clock. So I'm not like the phone kind of guy, and neither are my employees on that end of it. So I need a little bit of enthusiasm here. Let me know, type in one in the chat box if you'd like me to show you step by step how you do this. I'm just going to pull back the curtain. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to reveal some stuff to you that I guarantee you doesn't matter if you're an SEO expert, you're an AdWords expert, I'm going to blow you away with what I'm going to show you here. So I need some enthusiasm. Type in some ones in the chat box. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. My throat's kind of drying up. Okay, lots of ones there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And you can take notes. This will be stuff that you can carry away with you right now. Okay, so this will be something that you can go, oh, whoa, I can do this like right after the phone call. Here we go. So what I do is I build what I call master domain gen lead sites. Let me show you an actual example, real life, of what this is. And the thing is that they're basically built like this. Okay, so it's like, whatever your brand name is going to be. So it's like, hey, I'm just saying it's Mr. Plumber / Houston. So that means that particular page is going to be SEO towards Houston, and so on, Dallas, Austin, Fort Worth, San Diego, etc. But what nobody's talking about, nobody is aware of, and it's not a loophole. Been doing it for the past 5 years. This is not a loophole. this works every time. There's something that really happens special when you're around. Man, there's a certain tipping point. It's around when you get about 5 cities of one master domain ranking in 5 different cities to around 7. There's something that happens there with Google that Google says, you know what? We're giving you a free pass to the next 100 cities in the U.S. Go ahead. We already trust you. Go for it. You're cool. Don't believe me? I'm going to show you proof right now. Okay? Because I'm all about being transparent. I'm all about showing proof. So here we go. You ready? This is some really powerful stuff. You never heard this before. So this is Handyman Phoenix, right? Anybody can do this. You can type in Handyman Phoenix. By the way, this recent change, we're totally killing it because of this recent change. I can talk about that later, but we were killing it before. So here it is, Mr. Handyman right here. So it's, you know, it's above the fold, right? This is an example of a master domain site. So if I, you know, for those of you, there's a lot of experienced people on this call here. For those of you, you just type in site plus the root domain, and you can see that it's got almost 4,000 pages. And you can see that it's following this trend with the various cities that they're in. So let's take a look at Dallas. Dallas is a pretty big city, right? I mean, if you're ranking number 1 in Dallas locally for anything, you're going to definitely get a lot of searches, right? So let's check it out. Here it is. Here's Handyman right here, Handyman Dallas. Where are they ranking? Whoop, I don't know, but I'll click number 1, right? Oh, they must have a lot of backlinks going there to be ranking number 1 in Dallas. This is where the surprise happens. Wake up. So here they are. This is our commercial account for Majestica. 0 referring domains. In other words, 0 backlinks. Yet they're number 1 in Dallas. Oh, must be a fluke. That couldn't possibly be true, Chris. Well, let's check it out here. What about this? Handyman West Los Angeles. Hey, Los Angeles is huge, by the way, if you don't know. I mean, so here they are, right up here, ranking above the fold. Oh, must be another fluke, right? Nope. They have 1 referring domain, 1 backlink. How would you like to send, look, and this backlink doesn't even have any trust flow. How would you like to send 1 backlink to one of your sites and rank above the fold for West Los Angeles? Change your life, right? Let's check this out, because I already gave you Handyman Huntsville right here. It's right there, number 1. Did they send any backlinks to it? There it is. No, 0 backlinks. How are they doing this? Is it possible? Okay. Look, this is not a loophole, folks. I've been doing this since 2010. This is absolutely nuts on here. Now, it doesn't work everywhere. So, and I'll explain more how it works. Again, this is not a loophole, okay? You can reverse engineer Roto-Rooter, you can reverse engineer Target, Best Buy, any master domain type site out there that is ranking in basically every city in the US and in Canada and in Australia and in London, okay? Here they are. Sacramento, it's not an easy city to rank in, okay, for Handyman. Number 1, here they are. Let's take a look at their backlink profile. Oh, they got 4 backlinks. Wah, wah, wah. They got 4 backlinks. What do they have? Yellow pages? Are you kidding me? That's not even a do follow link. These are just citations. They didn't even have citations in the other ones, okay? Keep that in mind. No citations. And you know all the BS. Oh, you got to have citations to rank. No, you don't. No, you don't. Citations, they've sold that to you as a lie. Citations are the biggest lead generation for SEO companies and all kinds of stuff they want to sell you. They have no anchor text here, and this is actually linking to their own handyman site in Canada, okay, and then this franchise business, which is their franchise business, by the way. That's it. And they don't even have, these sites don't even have any trust flow, which trust flow is one of the most important indicators, but I'm not going to get into that now. Just trust me that the point of this, and I'm driving home, is this. Is that you're going to have to work hard to rank the 4 to 5 cities like the outline I'm showing right here. You're going to have to work hard on that. You have to do some quality backlinks. But guess what? You're going to be rewarded. Can you work hard to get in 5, 7, maybe 8 cities, and then pretty soon all of a sudden Google just opens it up to you and says, oh, you just put another site in Miami. Oh, yeah, no problem. Yeah, we already trust you. No backlinks? No worry. Okay? No one's talking about this stuff. So you can literally switch. So if any of you are in the SEO business or selling SEO or any kind of services to local businesses, forget it. This is what you got to do, because now you control everything. Everything. Okay? So how much revenue do you think old Mr. Handyman site makes? Just take a guess. Put it in the chat box for me. I'd love to know. And by the way, it's in the millions. So if you could, put it in millions. What do you think it is? 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, 250 million, 100 million. How much do you think that little lead gen site makes on here? Oh, no one's even close. Okay, so here we go. This is the closest that I could find for the stats. We know it's more now, but their estimated revenue as of 2009 was somewhere around $75 million. Selling leads, not SEO. You know how much, I should have put this stat in here. You know how much the average SEO person makes per year? Put it in the chat box. How much do you think the average, even the best of the best SEO person makes for local businesses per year? $42,000, okay? That's it. All right. So you don't want to be in the SEO business. You want to be in the lead business. You want to deliver these leads, these live phone calls. That's the way I do it. I deliver these live phone calls. All right. So what about the SEO? How do you get these first 5 to 7 sites ranking? How do you get this going on here? So let me ask you a question. This right now I'm just starting. I'm only in 2 niches, by the way. So I'm just starting a 3rd niche, and I wish I could show you the niche. Back in 2012, I shared my niche, one niche, like this on a phone call, and now that niche, almost internationally, because everyone jumped on it, is known as the most spammiest niche in local marketing. Maybe some of you know what it is. It starts with an L. Anyways, so I can't share. I wish I could. Back there I was naive. I was like, oh, I'll just share with these people my niche. They'll never take it over, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so here it is. So these niches here, I've got this one. This is one site with 4 cities. So this is one city on here, and this is Phoenix. There's another one, ranking number 3. Okay, this is San Diego. This is all the same niche, all the same domain. Where the heck is this one? I'm not even sure on that. And because I covered those. And this is Sacramento. So let me show you the revenue that we're making just off of these 4 sites. We're still in the phase right now of building these sites up. We haven't reached that tipping point yet. And then I'm going to share with you exactly how we do the SEO for this. It's a lot easier than you think it is, and it's not a loophole. It's like almost considered white hat, because there is no such thing as white hat, right? Anytime you're manipulating the search engines. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is the back end of an account we've got, and this is for those 4 sites, we're not revealing the niche here. One's in Phoenix, Sacramento, LA, and we're only in like a part of LA. LA is huge. You could literally have like 5 different pages in LA. We just have one in San Diego. And so last year, or all time at this point, but we didn't start until I guess around March last year. So and the reason it says 0 today is because I'll explain the billing in a second. This is a software system that I had custom built, and I have full-time programmers on this that just only work for CallZoo. That's it, no one else. And I had this built so I could easily automate the billing, the call tracking, all that kind of stuff. Remember, what CallZoo is like, CallZoo, because I modeled my business after Google AdWords, it's like a pay-per-call version of Google AdWords, but instead of pay-per-click, it's pay-per-call. and my clients pay in advance, and they top up. So it's like they pay like $1,000 up front, and then as the leads come in and as they answer the phone calls, then it automatically takes it off. So if it's $30 a call, then they take it off, and when they reach a threshold of around 400, then they get automated texts and automated emails to remind them they need to top up back up to 1,000, or they're going to lose all of their leads, and they don't want to lose them. Trust me. And that happens on Monday, and it's not Monday yet. So that's why it's zero. It's really not today. It's week by week. Anyways, so that's it. That's just 4 sites. We haven't even, frankly, we've been too busy with our others to even mess with this stuff. But that's just coming in just off of those. I don't get any phone calls from those people. I don't get any nothing. I don't get any phone calls like, hey, our site's just dropped in rankings, or I only get 2 phone calls, and they're really cool. Actually, they're not phone calls because we don't have a phone number. They can only email in to our support desk. So we only get 2 types of contacts, and that is, number 1, we got too many leads, or number 2, we want more. That's it. Really, that's for those of you in this business or somewhere in this business. Those are two kind of contacts from your customers that you can deal with. Okay, and this is the way we set up our business so that we don't have to handhold. We're not in the consulting business, okay? We're not in the handholding. It's a panic. There's never a 911 situation with us. Never, okay? All of our clients, hey, continue on with your Yellow Pages, continue on with your AdWords guy or person, continue on with your SEO person, just continue on with all that stuff. We're just going to deliver you leads by phone. That's all we do. That's all we do. Nothing else. Okay? Simple, right? Okay. I think that's all I wanted to show there. Okay, so let's get back into this here, and blah blah blah. Okay, so when I first started this and doing this, the invoicing was a nightmare. We had to manually do it. So hired some programmers. Again, those programmers are still with me today. I've been to the programmers' weddings. I've flown to their country. I mean, we're family. Okay, so the invoicing, this is what it looks like. It's a completely automated, because we're not gonna like manually send out an invoice or like call them or it's like, hey, can you pay your invoice? We're not doing that. It needs to be automated. Again, if you own a Google AdWords account, you know what that means. So this integrates with any kind of PayPal account. Just a regular PayPal account is fine. It integrates with ours. This is an example of a recent client. This is prepaid. So you can see here the total bill was $80. The payments from the company balance, and then the subtotal on here. And it shows the duration. It shows the phone number where it came from. It shows a lot of other information the customer can look at. But this is their bill, and this bill gets sent out to them before their balance gets low, because they got a prepay. They got a top up. It's like a prepay. It's like a prepaid phone card, and they get a text out to them. Everyone still responds to their text, right? So they get a text message and they get this exact thing, and they can just pay it right with their phone. They also get emails, and they get it every single day, automated until they pay it. And if they don't pay it, no problem. We send them out emails saying, hey, you just lost all your leads, and the leads automatically get forwarded to a second company in their area. Clients, we don't want to manage them. We have the software to manage them. So this is what they do. The clients can log in the back end, and they can look at all the calls that came in. They know what the price was, and they can listen to the phone calls. Every phone call is recorded. They can listen to the phone calls. Everything's good. The one at the bottom is with the little green and a little circle on it. That means that someone called back twice. So they're not charged for that. Okay. All right. So all that's automated. The phone numbers, everything's totally automated. So let me ask you something here for you guys and gals out there that are, consider yourself good at backlinking, because that's, how do we get those 4 sites ranking? We have many, many more ranking, obviously. But how do we just get those 4 that I shared with you up and ranking? What's a good backlink? In other words, if you could have like the best link possible that you could, reproduce, where would you get that backlink? Would you get it from? Put it in the chat box. What's a good source for a backlink? Is it? I don't know. Is it? You type into. I don't know if anyone even uses it anymore. Do you use the SEO Nuke, SEO Nuke X? That was back in the day. Sending out a bunch of spam links. Do you do guest posting? What's your like? If you get one really good backlink and you could reproduce it and have total control of it yourself, what would it be? That Google would look at it and go, that looks totally cool with us. That's not spammy. What kind of link would that be? Type it in the chat box. Let me know. Okay, we got some good responses there. We got some good responses. In fact, quite a few people got it correctly. Private blog networks are seriously the best source of backlinks. Okay, my entire company, okay, depends. My 34 employees, okay, which is a big responsibility. The income that you saw come in, it all depends on these private blog networks. So we make darn sure that they're not going to fail. And we do private blog networks a lot different than if you've maybe read about them. Okay, because let's just be honest for a second. Seriously, most areas where you learned about private blog networks was a course that you maybe purchased, and not all of them. I don't want to bang on anybody, but not all of them. But I mean, let's just be honest here. Most created the course, maybe had a little bit of success with it, but they probably made more from selling the course, and that's probably their really primary business, even if they had good intentions behind it. But you can't compare that with somebody like myself who we have over 1,000 private blog networks, and we have a ton of sites. Okay, all over the world. By the way, we're international. So, but the problem that we faced, and that you'll face too, even though you just got to really focus on those first 5 to 7 cities, ranking them. Okay, and then after that, it's like a downhill. It's easy at that process. The problem is these things get expensive. Okay, how much does a good private, a good blog cost? That, if you're in a Majestica and that's you're measuring trust flow of a 20 above or 25, has good clean backlinks, has never been used as a private blog network or a spam site, or never been used in China or Japan or all these other countries. There's so many crazy stuff out there. How much does that cost? Anybody want to type in the chat box? How much does that cost? $50, $100? Yeah, somewhere around there easily. And so, although you may not ever aspire to grow to the level where we are, you may just want to replace, a $5,000 or $10,000 a month income. These add up. And so, as a business owner, I had some really good programmers that are already working full time for me, and we're like family now. And I said, I got a problem here. We're spending all of a good source of our resources going for these private blog network domains, and I need some help. We need to find a solution. And so we did. So this is an example of private blog networks, and the company who sells this, actually they do sell really quality backlinks. They do a great job, and it's really a low price. So they're like offering you like a domain authority, a trust flow of like 15 and above, and some other metrics in there too, for $50 for one domain, and for $200. I buy a lot of domains, so this adds up quickly. So what I did is I had my team. I can only credit my team. They created software. It's not for sale, by the way. No one uses this except for my company. Just letting you know, I'm not trying to sell you the software. This is just what we pulled up a couple days ago, and I have to cover up the websites because what my team did, they're amazing, is they figured out a way to scrape the internet and find domains that have expired and no other companies picked up, and have good stats to them in our niche, or any niche we want for that matter. And these are just some of them. The trust flows is 29, 27 on that. And understand that Mr. Handyman, the core domain was a trust flow of 23, just to kind of give you a perspective. And we're pulling up 29s, 27s all day long. So this is really, really powerful stuff. these are the kind of domains that we pull up all day long. And what do we pay for these domains? Whatever a .com costs. What does a .com cost these days? What if you got a coupon? What does a .com cost you? $7.99, 99 cents, $9.99. That's it. That's what our domains cost. So instead of paying 50 to 80, $100 per domain, we're paying $9 per domain. Okay, that's it. No other costs. There's no other fees involved. It's just a straight up buy, and they got fantastic things on here. I mean, we could be in the domain selling business if we wanted to be, but that's just not our niche. They went one step further. They said, hey, Chris, by the way, we can use the same coding to scroll for expired Blogger, Weebly, Yoli, and Tumblr sites. These are all free, by the way, with a trust flow of 15 and higher. Boom. That's when my business exploded. Took off. I've already shown you what we can do with that. The amount of income that we produce, just have 4 sites. And we're not even ranking number 1. We're just like above the fold. Even one of them, we're number 9 or 10. I mean, it's not dramatic results by any means on that. And we're crushing it with this. And then we know that once we get around 5, 6, 7 cities ranking number 1, it's going to be even easier at that point. So that's it. That's all that we do for all of our sites. That's all that we do. We don't mess with nothing else. Okay. You got to remember that ranking for local sites is completely different, and people confuse it all the time with trying to rank for some other kind of site, like a nutrition site or, selling product site or whatever. Okay. People who go online and they look for, a plumber, an electrician, a lawyer or something, they're not going to social media that stuff. So anything you ever heard about social media is a bunch of baloney. Okay. I can tell you this from proof. These sites where people are like, okay, we got to do a local lead gen site, and then you got to put a bunch of content in there. Google knows that, a plumber site is not a content site. No one goes to a plumber site to look for content. Okay. No one goes to a towing site to go, oh, I'd like to learn more about towing. Wow. No, they're usually looking on their phone and they're on a freeway and they need someone to come pick them up. Google knows this, but many people out there, not many, I would say 99.9% who try to rank for local sites are completely confused because they're like, oh, they're taking the SEO kind of ranking rules of not local sites, but of like blogs and national sites and stuff. And does that make sense to everybody? So you don't have to have these, you need to have sites ranking in a city. You don't have to have blogs where you're writing tons of content. Okay? So this is all we do. We do private blog networks, Web 2.0s, and we're done. Okay? Easy peasy. And all of these on this page are free. Okay. So does this, I'm going to call it white hat SEO because we don't use any spun content, nothing. We got these good domains. We put some good content on it. We put out a non-spammy anchor text back to our sites. Okay. Something like our domain name or our brand name, and never a major keyword like plumbing, Phoenix, Arizona. Are you kidding me? That is spammy. Well, it works because check it out. So this dude's awesome on here. If you decide to join me later, you'll get to know him. And he said, I built somewhat of a successful lead gen business, just over $80K per year in 2005. While working a full-time job, I combined 2 hours per weeknight, okay, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., and Saturday morning for 4 hours. And I have a new baby, and I keep the same schedule. It's possible. Be committed to the process, okay? So for later on, people are asking me, how much time does this take? Can you do it with a full-time job? Yes. Okay. By the way, he has a really good full-time job, so he makes more than $80,000 in his full-time job. On here, well, happy to report our blank, I don't want to reveal the keyword, is a 9th spot on page 1 over the past week using Chris's training on here in local SEO. They notified us that we are on here, the spot number 1. This stuff works, okay? On here, been doing SEO for a long time and no BS. Chris Winters and New Call course is the best SEO course I've ever bought. Well, really not an SEO course, but anyways, and I bought thousands of dollars worth of course. If you follow the steps, you will succeed. Get jacked about this. All of these, by the way, I should have tried not to cover up the date, are all within this month. Okay, none of this stuff is like 2 years old or something. And I only have 300 members. That's it. Here's another one. Oh, sorry, I left it in here. So this is from February 12th. So released a new lead gen site in late 210. Page 1, position 1. Awesome. Okay, so that's my first method of ranking some really powerful lead gen sites that have real income. Okay, real income potential on here, and it's about the one domain. And you rank in 4 to 5, 7 cities. You're going to have to kind of work hard on that. But you use your private blog networks, okay, good domains, original content, and Web 2.0's backlink to those pages for those cities, non-spammy links. Give it some time. Slower is better. Once you reach that, and then you start adding another city, and you kind of start, you can think, okay, I'm going to start doing another private blog network to send a backlink here, and all of a sudden you look in there and it's ranking on page 1 with no backlink. Then you know you reached your tipping point. It's really powerful on here. But the second method is 10 times more powerful. But you can only, here's the catch, right? Where's the catch? Here's the catch. You can only use this method after, it's really important, after you've reached that tipping point. Okay? So you got to stay focused on what I just talked about. You reach that tipping point, and then you're going to hit the second method, and the second method is going to blow you away. And I'm going to walk you step by step. I'm going to go into the back end of my account. I'm going to walk you step by step of exactly how I do it, as long as I have some excitement. So please type in a 1 if you want to see me do this. I'm going to grab a quick drink of water. Lots of 1s. Okay, cool. I hope before I move on that there has been some aha moments. And if you're good at SEO, you could totally take what I just shared you and crush it. Okay? So you just, if you're a go-getter, you could take what I just showed you, just shared with you, and you could just hang up right now and leave and just go for it. And I've seen people do that in seminars before. I've been in seminars, events, and all of a sudden you see that one person out of the 2,000 get up and leave. Yeah, if you're one of those, just go. Seriously. You can take what I just showed you and crush it. I'm about to show you what to do after it to crush it tenfold. Here we go. All right, before I get to that, I want to show you something here. So I got too excited there. So this is it. This is the deal. There's very few people that know about this stuff, by the way. And it's been around for 5 years with Google. But it's like no one talks about it. I'm like going, that's really weird. Anyways, so this is what it is, okay? You can do, most people on smartphones on here are, when they're looking locally, they have this new feature where you can just kind of tap to call. It's actually a lot more aggressive than this. I couldn't find a better picture. But basically, this is the deal. Think about these stats because this is powerful stuff. 70% of all local and mobile searches result in a phone call. This is directly from Google, right? And I can attest to you this is it. Seriously, I've called Google before when I first started this, and I was like, are these legit? Are we doing this correctly? Because my clients are getting way too many calls. So I'm going to set up a campaign for you right now. And if you just follow along, you can do the same thing yourself. So here we go. And I don't know anyone else is sharing this kind of stuff. So here we go. Let me do this. Okay, so I'm going to log into, I had to prepare for this earlier. I'm going to log into not my AdWords account because then it would reveal my niches. And I did that before. And now it's the most spammed niche on the planet. I can lay claim to fame off of that, but that's not a good thing to do. Anyway, so this is a different Gmail account. It has no active Google words in it. So anyways, if you're familiar with Google AdWords, this is basically when you log in, you get a campaign. This is what you do. So here we go. Take notes, take pictures of the screen, whatever. It's exactly how we do this. This is so powerful. But I got to warn you, it's 10 times more powerful. I'll explain a little bit later. Only when you do the first step of what I showed you. If you do that first step, get that tipping point going, then do this. Trust me, it's going to kill it. So here we go. So you come in here and we're going to go search network only. Okay, search network only. Bam. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to do call only. Okay. And then you're going to go to networks, and the networks that they have, I've contacted Google many times, is not ready for the call only. What this call only means, well, you're going to get the picture here in a second. Okay, so let's say that we do, we're going to do Phoenix Handyman, by the way. So I'm going to type in Phoenix, right here, Phoenix, Arizona. And you can go in advanced settings and like narrow it down even tighter area. I'm just going to do the well, let me just show you if you're not familiar with this. So that's the general Phoenix area. So I could narrow this down by locations and by a radius had I had a client in that particular area or something like that. But I'm just going to keep it as that for the example. Fair enough, right? Location options, this is important. Switch, this is to experience. I lost a lot of money not doing this. People targeted in my local area. So click that. If you just followed what I said right now and you just followed that one little click I did right there, I just saved you years of headaches and maybe possibly you trying it and it fails. And then this is really important in the bid strategy. You have to do manual. Okay, so go down to manual. All right, so I'm going to bid $2. And $2 for what? $2 for when Google is going to advertise only on mobile devices and only going to be telling people, hey, if you need a handyman, click here to call. And it automatically calls. And I'm going to go $20 a day. So remember these numbers, okay? It's really important. $2 is what I'm going to pay maximum for a live call to call one of my plumber clients. It's actually going to work through my system, my pay-per-call system. But anyways. And so I got a budget of $20. So what's the least amount of calls I'll get? Type it in. How many calls would I get for this? We're doing a handyman example here. For a handyman in Phoenix, $2 is the maximum I'll pay. So if I paid maximum for every single call and I said $20 per day, right, 10 phone calls, okay? So 10 phone calls to a handyman. Cool. Delivery method, you can leave it at that. Well, actually, I want to open this up because some people, there's a lot of wrong information out there and people do this all the time. They want to do the accelerated. No, standard. Just keep it standard, okay? Let's say continue. Okay, so cool beans so far, right? All right, let me scroll up here. Okay, so ad group, you would name it whatever you want. I'm gonna put business name in here, so I'll do just bear with me. Handy man now. Okay, United States. I'm gonna put in my tracking number. Okay, and this is not a real tracking number, so don't go and call it. That would be silly, right? Okay, so that's the number that these people are going to see. This is what this is what the ad's going to see. This is what the ad's going to look like on here. So just basic kind of AdWords description stuff. If you guys do this, you know this. You usually want to put some kind of question on here. Just put need. I'm not in this niche, by the way. So need handyman now. Whoops, we want to do the camel now, question mark. You got to play around with this stuff a little, by the way. And then some kind of benefit on this end of it. Get free professional quote now. Okay, that's good enough. Display URL, I'm just going to put, you want to put your display URL, even though it's not going to show, by the way. // This is the funny thing, is that this is why, okay, so I want to share something. This is a huge, this is something we discovered. I'm going to share with you right now that no one that I know in the world would share with you. This is one little piece, a little nugget you can take right now and bank it. Are you ready? Okay. With the Google AdWords right now, these last two little entries that I'm putting in, this is absolutely critical. If you've got one of these master domains where you've hit that tipping point, there's a tipping point in here, and I'm telling you, it's nuts. Even though when you initially start this campaign, the way I'm teaching you to set it up right now, and pay attention, please, okay? The way I'm teaching you to set it up right now is that you'll get about 80%, 70% click for calls, and you'll get charged at $2 or less or whatever. I'm going to show you right now what they're going to charge me for this, by the way, so if you're wondering. But after about, and you can only do it if you do it the way that I'm telling you right now. This is like I could charge thousands and thousands of dollars for what I'm about, because I've spent thousands of hours learning how to do this. No one else is teaching this stuff, okay? If you've got the trusted sites up, ranking in 4 to 5, 6, 7 cities, you've hit that tipping point, Google trusts you everywhere, including here. And what happens is that you will almost immediately be given the opportunity, and no one's talking about this, man. No one. I should be charging $50,000 for this. No one's talking about this. They will give you the opportunity to go 100, not 70%, 80%, 100% pay-per-call. And then they will start adding you to all of their networks. And that's when your clients will call you and go, Chris, we're getting too many calls. Stop. Okay? Let that sink in for a second. Let that sink in for a second. Anyways, so I'm just going to put in just our website here, just for demonstration purposes. But this is why I insist, because I want to see you succeed. This is why I insist that you must do the first steps. Even if you hate SEO, you got to do it. Okay, you got to do it, and I make it easy for you. Okay, you got to do that first before you get onto this. Everyone wants to go on this part because they think it's sexy and easy and blah blah blah. No. Okay, look. Have you ever heard the saying, "Take the long road because you'll get there faster"? Let me repeat that. Take the longer road because you'll get to where you want to go faster. Okay, there are no shortcuts, folks. I'm telling you, I've been there, done it. I failed for 41 years of my life. Right? I tried to take shortcuts forever. If you're looking at this going, oh, I just want to do the AdWords. That's like boom, because you're going to want to when I show you some of the numbers here. So I'll just continue, but you can't. Okay, here we go. Alrighty, so that's it. Did I get that? Okay, so normally what I do is I just do my own on here because my system tracks enough. But for this example, I'm just going to do this here. I'm going to go, maybe, I don't have time for this. I'll go on that later. But what I want to show you now is the keywords. I'm not going to get into broad, exact, all that kind of stuff right now. I just want to show you something really quickly on here. And if I just type in handyman, okay, just handyman, and then handyman Phoenix. Okay, that's probably good enough. And then there's my bid on here. I want to get an estimated search traffic. Okay, so this is not even doing the proper, anybody who knows anything about Google AdWords knows that I just did the most crummy job ever here, right? Okay, but still, just, and the majority of searches, let's be honest, are going to be these two, okay? So this is pretty realistic. I'm going to get about 8 to 10 calls a day, right? And it's going to cost me less than $1 for a call, a live call. Let that sink in. A live call. No one's talking about this kind of stuff. You can go onto Google right now, AdWords, and you can ask for a click, and I can guarantee you the click is going to be like 5 times more, $6, $7, $8 for a click, not a call. Right? It's crazy. I wouldn't even be able to spend that $20 in a day. I will if I add some more words. Okay. So pretty cool stuff, right? Come on. This is really cool stuff. All right. So let's get back to here. Where are we? Let me get back on track. I can sidetrack really easy. So this is what I need you to do. Let's take a look at this stuff here. So this is a stat I got online. So I just want you to get the business sense of this. It's a handyman, right? So a handyman, according to the best data that's out there, this is a bell curve, right? In the middle, a handyman per job is going to make about $387. On the low end, 75. That's usually just a trip charge to go out and take a look at it. And the high end. So the question is that $20 a day at $2 a call. Remember, I asked you to remember those numbers earlier. That's 10 live phone calls. Okay. We're still going to be able to deliver those 10 phone calls. It's just not going to cost me $10. But if you go online and you look at Home Advisor and all the other lead gen crummy sites that are out there for a handyman to buy leads from, which are usually email, by the way, not live. Actually, 95% are just email. And the emails that get sent out and shared with them are not exclusive. They go out to other ones. So I'm saying $18 for a live call that only goes to you, Mr. Handyman. And I'm going to deliver you 10 of those per day. So you need to prepay, $180. How much does that cost me, by the way, according to the numbers I just did? Not even $20. And I charge, a setup fee. I say this is how we do this. This is like, this totally crushes it. So listen up. It's another gold nugget. So we come in and we don't even contact the person live. We just, it's actually a whole page that they go to, and they watch a video of how the system works and stuff like this. And we give them a risk-free trial. We say, look, for a setup fee of $25, which is going to cover all our costs for this, right? $25, within 24 hours, we will deliver to you, guaranteed, 10 live calls between your business hours. And by the way, I didn't show you, but you can go back to Google AdWords. This is the cool thing. And you can say, I just want my ad spent between 9 and 4 p.m. or something like that. It's pretty bold, right? Guess what? When it happens the next day, they're going to sign up, guaranteed. Okay? So if I sent them 10 calls the next day, and I didn't have to pay for them, they paid for them, I could even say $10 setup fee, right? Because that's all it's going to cost for these calls, $10 for me. $10 for these calls. And they get 10 of them. And I let them know they're going to get 10 the next day. You've got to be prepared. And I give them a login to the back end of my system so that they can listen to all the phone calls, even the ones they missed, okay? Because they will miss some. Out of 10 calls of people in their area that actually typed in handyman, so this is a really targeted group. If you could only close 3 of those calls, basically you suck. But they did. And the average cost they did was the average that I'm based on here, $387. They would generate about $1,000 in revenue. How much did they pay me? $180. So if every day they paid me $100 and every day I gave them over $1,000 of revenue, how many times would they do that transaction? And we got to never talk about SEO. We don't got to talk about reputation management. Nada. Right? Cool stuff, right? Okay. My screen is frozen. Okay. So let me just kind of expand that concept a little bit more. If you just had one profitable pay-per-call niche in one city, you just figured out, you're like, okay, because you're going to have to fine tune it, okay? I don't want to make that seem like it's like, okay, you just put in a title and a URL. You got to play with that stuff, with the numbers a bit. So once you get it all figured out for one city, and you've already got it going on in some other cities with your local lead gen sites organically, do you think this is going to work the same way in other cities? Yeah, it's called scalability. And this is how you scale yourself to the level that is, it's transformational. Seriously. Here we are in Phoenix. So you just did a nice little pay-per-click campaign. in Phoenix, do you think that same campaign would work in San Diego, in San Antonio, in Dallas, in Austin, in Indianapolis, in Fort Worth, in Detroit, in Denver, in Boston, in Nashville, in Vegas, in Milwaukee, in Sacramento, Mesa, Colorado, Cleveland, Tampa, Riverside? You understand what I'm saying? So when you think back to the beginning of the call, okay, when my attorneys advised me not to show that, but you saw me show live. Is it still up? Okay. That's how that happens, folks. That's how that happens. I can't guarantee it'll happen to you, but that's how that happens. All right. That's how that happens. All right. So let's continue on. I think I've shared everything that I possibly can at this point. Okay. So let's continue on here. Okay. So how many people feel that they've learned something exciting? I've really given away a lot, right? I mean, you could, if you're smart enough, you go out and, you could YouTube and you could figure this stuff out on your own based on what I shared. I showed you enough gold nuggets right now that you could, like, if you're good at SEO, you're good at AdWords, you could figure this stuff out, no problem. You could build a lead gen site business. The first step, I'm telling you, I've learned through years of experience. You got to get them going up organic first. There's no skipping that, folks. I know the second part looks sexy, but you're going to have pain, a lot of pain financially if you do it. There's a crossing point that Google says, we trust you. And guess what? The Google goddess just takes care of things after that on so many freaking levels, even more I haven't shared with you. But this is it. So if you feel right now excited, like, hey, my valuable time that I've taken out of my day, I have some value. I could walk away right now and I'm totally satisfied. Just type in a 1 in the box, let me know, and type in a 2 if you want to learn even more. That's it. Type in 2. I feel pretty good about what I've shared so far. I don't feel like I've really held back with the time constraints that we have. Obviously, there's more to SEO if you're not familiar with it, but I broke it down, right? Tribal Networks Web 2.0, that's what we do. I showed you proof. I showed you more than proof. I've been transparent on that end of it. Then, step 2, when you break that tipping point, go on to the AdWords click to call. Google will almost immediately just say, hey, we're just going to switch you right over to totally click per call, not like 70, 80%. And it's going to change your life and your clients' lives. Alrighty, so we have an excited group here. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, this is the deal. Okay, so with the right training, don't let me scare you with this, okay? 200 hours. Could you go to college? If I was teaching this as a college course, all right, I could spread it out over 4 years and charge $25,000 per year per student. Seriously. Because there is no professor in the world making what I make per year and sharing what's sharing. Let's just be honest about this. So 200 hours, don't get scared by it. Okay, you take it step by step. How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. I enjoy teaching, so I do weekly coaching calls. These coaching calls are not like training. Like the training is already there. These are like up to the minute stuff. These are like more mindset. I usually start off in the first 10 or 15 minutes as more mindset, because you're not going to, you're not going to exceed in your business beyond your own personal development. And I'm not a big personal development guru person and all that stuff, but I just share what I'm doing with the first 10, 15 minutes, and people love it. After that, most of the coaching calls go 2 hours. They're all recorded. I answer all questions. I go over relevant topics that are happening in the industry today. It's a moving target, people. It's dynamic. My company, my 34 employees, we stay on top of it. We share with you what we're doing, invaluable information. I'm a stickler on support. Active Facebook group. I'm in there once a day. Boom, I answer all the questions. Every year, 2 live events. Just get your butt out there. Pay for the plane ticket, whatever. The event is free to you. There's 0 pitching, no selling. These are workshops and bonding times. This is when you come in and you fly in and you arrive then on Friday, you're going to be working all day long on your business, but a different aspect that you never even thought of. And you're going to be open up your laptop and you're going to be working through everyone in the room is. Okay. This is not one of those things where you're like uncomfortably like, rah, 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 turn to your friend, shake their hand, tell them your goals, give them your elevator pitch. That's all BS, man. I've been to that stuff. This is like you're going to open up your laptop, you're going to wire up, and we're going to do some freaking work so that you've got work on here. In fact, we're having one coming up in Vegas, and everybody there, before they leave Vegas, is going to have clients calling them because of what we're going to teach them in there step by step. Okay? Everyone, I guaranteed. These are the kind of stuff that we do. Okay, it's not baloney. So the Vegas one, these don't cost you anything. You just come, and if you can't attend, then they're recorded. You get full access to all of the high trust domains and Web 2.0s. My team scrapes them for you. They fine tune. They give them to you. The Web 2.0s are free. The high domains is whatever. You know, you want to buy them at Namecheap. You want to buy them at GoDaddy. Wherever you want to buy them, it's whatever they cost. Okay. Best. Now, this is something I haven't even emphasized because you know what? It doesn't matter. What matters is not the software, because the software didn't make me successful. The software didn't rank these sites. The software doesn't do that. The software just makes your life easier. Okay. But the best lead tracking software on the market, period, bar none, no matter what is out there. Okay. And it's all online on the cloud. So anyways, let me just explain a little bit about the software. But the way that I look at this is this. I'm not a software guy. I just hired the best people to like say, hey, I got a problem. You fix it? Thank you. Got it. Great job. Hey, I got another problem. Can you fix it? Good. Great job. Thank you. So that's the way I look at it. It's kind of like this. I can literally hand you the finest automobile in the world. But if you got no gas, you got no leads, it ain't going anywhere. Okay? So the biggest value I can offer to you is the fuel. So that when you step in the seat of the car and you turn that on button, it goes. And that's what this software is, and that's what I teach. So this is just, it does so much more. This is geeky stuff. This is really important. For anybody in the programming business, you know that every piece of software or app or whatever, you have to have full-time programmers, period, bar none. That's obligatory, okay? Because there's always stuff coming up. You're always changing. So just know that. I've been to their weddings. I've flown out. I know their families, okay? We're family. We have 3 basic payment types. These are all 100% automated because you want to be chasing the dollars, okay? Pre, post, and flat rate. I do pre, okay? But those other options are there for you. Automated billing, the billing gets text out. There's like a little button there. They go, okay, pay it now. It goes right to your PayPal account, period, and end of discussion. White label, okay, for all your customers. So they can log into their backend. They don't have to call you up. They can log into the backend, whatever website you've got, and you don't have to like download this on your hosting account or none of that stuff. My programmers did an easy one-click thing. So you just start, boom, and it's like your customers go right to your website to log in, and you didn't even realize it happened. It's literally that simple. So they can track the calls, they can listen to them, so on and so forth. They need to do that rather than calling you. Our whole call, SMS, texting, the whole platform runs off of Twilio. So whatever Twilio charges for a phone number is what you'll pay. Okay, there is no markup there. So in the U.S., a Twilio number is $1 a month and 1 freaking cent. Okay, like 1 penny. So the 1 penny, even though it's not even copper anymore, not even fully copper, the 1 cent costs more than 1 cent. The value. It's kind of nuts. But anyways, email tracking, because there's certain niches that it's like, hey, I don't really need to call. It makes more sense for me to fill out an email and a questionnaire. Okay, these are like for like car loans and estimates and stuff like this, fully integrated. We have different kinds of call delivery systems, because what you're going to find is that your customers in the beginning are going to ask for more leads. Then you're going to implement some other things, and they're going to get too many calls. And then you want to take those calls and route them out, so that some calls come in to this one handyman here in Phoenix, But when he can't handle any more calls, it goes to another handyman Phoenix person, and then that person gets the calls. Okay, so we have all these kind of call routing options on that, so that your hard work doesn't go to a busy signal or to a message box. Okay. This is very advanced. It does so many other things. I really don't want to get into it right now because it doesn't matter. But we have a dynamic phone insertion thing, and this just allows you to really track. This has more to do with the Google AdWords and stuff. It allows you to track where all of your leads came from. Did they come from a billboard? Did they come from this AdWords account? Did they come from this YouTube video? Did they come from this citation? Did they come from your site? Where did it come from? Okay, so that you and your client know where to spend your time at. And a whole lot more. Again, you can have the best software in the world. You can have the best, brand new Ferrari, $500,000. But if you got no gas in it, it doesn't work. If you got no training on how to get clients, how to rank them, it all doesn't work. So that's why I don't spend a lot of attention on this. One thing that our group has on here, which is really important, this is a small group, by the way, is that when you build these private blog networks, you got a private blog network and you're going to build it and you're going to link it out to one of your sites. If you need more links, you got to build more private blog networks, even though you could do that. But within our group, you can do some link exchanges, and we monitor those, and we make sure that everyone's doing it the right way, so that it doesn't look like you're doing that. So you can really, when you build one private blog network, you can go in and send a backlink to your site, and you can do 5 more link exchanges. So that means you get 5 more links going in and out. And we have guidelines for this, and everyone follows them. It's really powerful. It basically takes your efforts and fivefolds them. And this is just it. I should have left the dates on here rather than just cover up the names. But this is just in my private blog network. There's people like, hey, got TrustFlow. I need a link exchange, blah, blah, blah. So here's what you get on this end of it. Full training, TrustFlows, 20 plus domains. You just pay whatever price that costs. If a .com costs $7.99 that month at GoDaddy, then our HostGator, then that's what you pay for it, nothing else. Web 2.0s, we go TrustFlow of 15 and above. Those are all free. We give you, because it's really important, we want you to succeed with our commercial account, we give you free Majestic backlink reports of whatever, so say you're in plumbing and you're starting out in Houston and there, hey, let us get you the backlink reports of the top 3 sites ranking so that you can reverse engineer that. And I provide full training of exactly how to use that material. It's really important on that. Safe link exchange within the private group, weekly coaching calls, and that's kind of weird how that did that. Bonuses, okay. So bonuses right now, right here. 2 live workshops per year. This is what you get as a bonus. You don't got to pay for them. Just show up. This year we got Vegas and Barcelona. I'll always do like in North America and in Europe. I'm kind of switch it back and forth. And they're always recorded if you can't make it. But trust me, if you make it and you bond with people there, you're going to want to show up every single time. Unlimited. Okay, so it's impossible for you not to succeed at this. Unlimited TrustFlow plus 20 domains, okay, and Web 2.0s. Just the asterisk is there, so you just don't abuse it. We know what niche you're in, all that kind of stuff. So I'll personally review your niches. So module 1, I show you step by step. It's about 4 hours of training, but that comprises 5 years of my hard work, okay, to help you learn how to select a niche. And then when you select your top 3 niches, send them in full confidentiality. I'll look at them. I'll give you my feedback. I'll be brutally honest. I'll be like, hey, start all over. This is why these 3 niches won't work. Or this niche will work fantastic, but you got to do X, Y, and Z. Okay? And this also allows me to, and you too, that I can look at this and go, hey, we've already got a member in your niche, and he or she is kicking some ass. So let's move on to another niche, something like that. So that's how we keep everything in balance. And I give you my expert opinions on that. On here only, this is totally underground on here. It doesn't depend on your success, but it can sure help bring a lot of leads. as I teach you, and I'm the only person I know in the world that is doing this, how to do a Google 3-pack, okay, without a postcard. And it works. And to prove it works, we had somebody just on February 12th says, I got approved for the Google, they meant the Google 3-pack on here, for 2 of their lead gen sites. Okay. And you know when they made the Google changes right now how important that is. Okay. So this stuff works and no one else is teaching this. I give you the exact landing pages that I use to get clients. Because everyone's like, okay, well, how do we get clients so we can get in rank, blah, blah, blah. How do we get clients? I'm going to give you my exact landing pages, the videos we use, everything. You can model it. So you don't have to think too much about it. My staff gives you the full Majestic reports of every niche and city you're in. And I teach you how to reverse engineer that. Okay, so that you know what you're up against. And you can also steal backlinks from them as well. It's invaluable information. But only if you have the right training how to do it and you got the tools to do it. I've spent over $20,000 to U.S. Attorney for my lead gen contracts. You get them all. Okay, I'm not giving legal advice. They're just yours for free, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I didn't just make them up. Alrighty, so let me move on here. What do we got? All right, so let me ask the most common questions, and then I'll get to your own personal questions. Fair enough? So I get this question every time. How soon can I start to make money? I never know how to answer this question, right? I mean, results vary. Depends how much work you've got. I've shared some testimonials of others. At the very end of this, I'm going to share with you over 100 testimonials. Okay, I have more, but you just don't want to sit for like 2 hours and watch them. Okay, so all I can say is this safely, legally. All I can really say to you is that you'll continue to make exactly the same money you're doing right now if you continue what you're doing. And if you don't decide to make a change in your life, you're going to continue to do what you're doing every single day. Okay? And there's other members in here, although their results vary and they don't represent what you could possibly do. But there's some members in here that have changed their lives. You know, you saw the one with 80,000. Full-time job, 2 kids. Okay? Part-time, a couple hours a night. It depends on you and how much effort you put into it, right? It's kind of like asking me, how soon can I get a 6-pack? Well, how soon can you stop eating all that crap food you're eating? How soon can you get on that treadmill? Are you going to put 2 hours of treadmill work a day or not? See what I'm saying? Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Is this newbie friendly? Absolutely. We have people that have joined and have been successful that have they don't even know how to install a WordPress plugin. Seriously. They don't even know what a backlink is. Seriously. Our staff is very supportive in the training as well. Are there any upsells? Nope. How much do the phone numbers cost? Hey, whatever Twilio charges. We don't get in the middle of that. Okay, it's just your account connected to Callzoo, and you just use our system to track your numbers, not ours. Okay, so do you have phone numbers in all countries? We have phone numbers in every country that Twilio does, which is like a lot. So basically every major country, from all European countries, all South American countries, Arabic countries. I mean, if you're in doubt, just contact my support. I'll give you that. If you have an existing Twilio account and some other, pay-per-call system that you're using, yeah, you can absolutely import your existing ones in one touch, and you can export them out if you're not happy. I don't like SEO. I don't either. And I only want to do the AdWords. I know, because it's the sexy stuff, right? Can I skip the master domain ranking? Sorry, you can't. So the way the course and material is displayed out, got to follow through the steps. And I'm doing that. It's kind of tough love because I want you to succeed, and that's the way to do it. You can't just fast forward to the end and expect the results. Again, take the long road. You'll get there faster. Okay, there are no shortcuts in life, right? Where are we now? This is it. All right, so that's, let me get the support up here. So I hope you can see that. Let me get to the questions on here. This offer ends with the webinar. Okay, so it's not like I need more clients. I don't. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy a small group. This is not like a group you're going to join. There's literally 300. You'll see when you join the face group. There's like 300 people in there. That's it. But there's some dedicated mofos in there. Okay. And if you want to join those people and be surrounded around them, because we're all, you've heard that before. You're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with, online or off, right? But the 5 people that mentally occupy your space. All right, so let me get to the questions on here, and I will go through those and answer them. And what I'll do is I'll answer these questions, and then we'll get to kind of a certain point where the questions start to slow down, and then I'm going to play a video that lasts about 15 minutes of at least 100 customers out of the 300. So just think about that for a second. 1/3 of the 300 customers in there giving testimonials that I never asked for, by the way, both video, written, and whatever. And you're going to see their experiences, and then myself and my staff will answer questions afterwards, and we will answer them until everyone is answered. So right now, for the next 5-10 minutes, I'll do them live. Then we're going to switch to kind of quiet mode, watch the video, and then myself and my staff will take care of all the questions after that. Fair enough? Okay, cool beans. Alrighty, so let me just get in here. Boom, boom, boom. Are these techniques outdated now? You saw my income statement, right? No. Sorry if I'm seeing a little flip like that, but that's how I keep it real. I'm just kind of like a no-nonsense kind of guy. I respect you and who you are and where you are, but, you got to kind of look at where I've been. I recall this webinar in the past 2 years. You know what? This may not be the right for you. If you're like raising your hand going, no, this is not, question. I don't mind question on here. Is this live or pre-recorded? It is live. Live. Hello. Live. How can I prove it's live? I know I can prove it's live. I can escape out of here. Escape out of that. Oh, no. No. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, I hope I didn't leave the web. No, did I leave the webinar? No. Okay, cool. I still see it on there. So what do I do? Current time. Current time. Should I do New York or Barcelona where I am? You won't know where Barcelona time zone is anyways, right? So I'll just do New York. New York. Bingo, bango. 12:30 p.m. New York, right here. There's the time, all right? So there you go. Skeptical person. I won't call you out, all right? All right, so now I've got to find my chat box again. That's not it. Is that it? Nope. Oh, I had this problem last time. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, so now I've lost the chat box again. How do I do this every single time? Let me try this. Let me shrink this out. Is this it? No. Shucky darns. I was on such a roll. That's not it either. That's not it. If there's anybody on the call, sorry, this happened again. This happened last phone call too. If there's anybody on the call that can provide me with some of the questions, I'd love to answer them. And then we will end the same way we did before. So if we have some of the assistants on there who can read me some of the questions, that would be like totally awesome. And I can answer these people's questions. Marge, if you're there, help me out. Yeah, darn it. That's kind of a bummer, right? I'll just try a couple more things where I hope Marge comes on and starts reading through some of the questions. Don't lose me now, people. I see people. No, don't go. Marge, get on the phone call, please, and kindly answer some of the questions if you're there on that end of it. Let me try this. Hang with me, people. Don't go anywhere. We will rock and roll this, I promise you. Yeah, it's not working. Cancel. No, I don't want to do any of that. I'm gonna cancel. Let me try this. I think that will work. Oh, that works. Awesome. Okay, so let me get the screen back up. We're back up. We can figure this stuff out, right? Okay, so let me get this back up and figure that out. We'll go right back into questions. Alrighty, okay. That's the form of selling the course as well as write and not lead gen. Not quite sure what that means. Okay, we'll just go through here. Alrighty. What theme am I using? Great question, Simon. The theme that we use is a theme that my programmers made that ties in with our pay-per-call and email form system. So it's all customized on that, and you can make every site look different and stuff. So basically, we kind of jumped into this world and we said, you know what? We're going to reinvent everything. We're going to reinvent the pay-per-call system, the email tracking system, the WordPress system, how we collect private blog networks and Web 2.0s. We just reinvented it all. Took years to do and hours of this. Are you limited by city population or rank? No. Anything above 100,000 is pretty darn good. All right, that I would focus on that. 5 million, 100 million. Oh, you got some good guesses there. Okay, good. Yeah, Locksmith is absolutely correct. What if you are only after getting leads for one company, do you register 5 or 6 domains for that different area? No, we just do one domain and then we focus on ranking high on that. Once we're there, we got Google Trust, then we'll do the AdWords pay-per-call, which a lot of people don't know about. The sign-up link is right there, offers.callzoo.com/munch on that. I don't know about the replay. Anyone monitoring this? Do you send a replay? Social? No. E-government sites don't do it. Private blog networks, that's exactly it. Alrighty, cool. Let me just keep scrolling down. I got a lot of questions here. I'm just going to scroll through. One-on-one's good. Good. Well, I've got tons of stuff here. This is live. There's other. I should have. Today, when people are so skeptical, right? I need to remember to do this because I don't do very many webinars, by the way. This is not what we do. This is the second webinar I've done since 2013. Just letting you know. Okay. 2013, I did a few of these webinars, closed it up. Now it's 2016, almost 3 years later. Chris Munch is my buddy, and this is the second webinar I've done since then. And I don't do replays. No, that's not authentic. Okay. Great info so far. Appreciate that, Rick. Audio in and out. Sorry about that. 10, 10, 10. Awesome, awesome. You forget to set the, yeah, no. Okay, that was just an example. Yeah, this is gold. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Absolutely. Okay, got some good stuff here, man. We got some great comments in here. I just want to get right to the gold and the meat of these. I'll switch it over. Thank you from Chris. Okay, thank you, Chris Tyree. I won't mention the last name. Keep your anonymity here. Should we use a domain name that has a keyword in it? That's a great question. No, you want to move away from that. You want to use a keyword that is a brand related. So let's say, for example, you're in the emergency dentist niche. You want to have like something like the 24-hour tooth doctor or something like that, right? Tooth is not, and doctor and 24 hours not your keyword. You want branding. Google's very clear about that. So just what you really want to stay clear from is you don't want your domain to be a lot of your keywords, because you're going to do, that's the majority of the backlinks we're going to do, is I call them naked links. It's from your URL. And if it has your keyword in it, it looks too spammy to Google, and Google will slap you. So Google likes brand names. Okay. Is it better to use a local phone number? Yes, we use local phone numbers, and we have local phone numbers everywhere because we use Twilio. So local phone numbers for sure, because no one look, when you think about calling an 800 number, what do you think of? A big call center, right? What am I going to do? Am I going to call a local handyman and call an 800 number? It's just like, well, I'm going to hang up. And I'm like, whoa, what is this? Okay. No, we use only this. This can be done in UK so successfully. Okay. Trust me, we have current members crushing it in UK. Andrew, the fine print. What kind of fine print do you want, buddy? I got disclaimers, everything there. If you're, what are we looking for? Absolute guarantees. There's no guarantees in life. So, but Andrew, you can contact my support, and they can send you stuff. But Man, there's like over, I don't know, 10,000 words on that page. New York, yes. Okay. Christian the man, you're the bomb. Thank you. Appreciate that. Replay, that's entirely up to Mr. Munch and his team. Are the inbound calls recorded and can the clients listen to them? Absolutely. Absolutely, and as in on CallZoo. CallZoo does everything for you. I didn't showcase that because I think it's more important to showcase the 30,000 foot level, the business level. This is what we're going to do, and this is the kind of fuel we're going to put in the car, and this is the roadmap we're going to go. So I'm going to give you the roadmap and the fuel, and oh yeah, the CallZoo software, that's the Ferrari. Now you can get in the Ferrari and go. Okay, does that make sense? People with that kind of attitude never succeed. That's awesome. It's the core. Thank you. Not good comments here, by the way. I appreciate the smart crowd out here. What does this have to do with Chris Munch strategy focusing on press release? I'll tell you right now. I have many students on here that have the strategy of the press release that are crushing it, doing the instead of doing the SEO I'm saying, they're doing the SEO with the press release. Okay. I could go off on that statement, by the way, but I'm not going to. If you want to add another comment about that towards the end, I'll be happy to go one-on-one with you on that because that's like such a small-minded statement. Anyways, can you send a report of this webinar? That's entirely up to Mr. Munch and his team. I have no experience at it. Can I make it? Hey, we have people. If you are determined, nothing can stop you, right? We got all the training, 7-day support. I do weekly webinars every single week. You're going to listen to me for 2 hours. And you can send in your questions. You can hop on the call. You can do whatever. You can, if you are determined on this, I'm going to provide you. I'm going to be in your top of mind awareness. You will not be able to escape me. You're going to be in the Facebook group. You're going to see me every day in there. Once a week, and you have 2-hour phone calls. 2 times a year, you're going to meet with me for 3 to 4 days. Okay? It's up to you. Usually the only person that prevents you from succeeding is what? The one you look at every morning in the mirror. Okay. Multi-pay sim, yeah. Multi-pay events, sure. Well, multi-pay for this course, no. Different ways to pay for your clients, yes. Does this work with press release? Yes. You can totally boost this up here. You can do the press release, get these sites up and ranking, and then we can hand you these private blog networks that would cost you $80, $90, $200 for $9.99 to boost it up. This is what I've been looking for. Awesome. Should we avoid using city in the domain name? Yes. Great question, SJ. Avoid the city name because that is not a brand name, and Google knows that all day long. Google is not stupid. Okay, they hire the best of the best engineers out there from MIT, Harvard, Yale, Berkeley, the best of the best. They're not stupid. They know if you got a domain name that is like, Plumbers San Diego, California.com, that's a spam because nobody names their business name that, okay? Wake up. And they know that. Okay? Only SEO people do that. You got it? Only SEO people do that. Okay? And it doesn't make sense, right? Because I'm teaching you got to open up a master domain. So the master domain can't have that in the root domain. Okay? It's got to be like Dr. Plumbers. It's got to be Mr. Plumber. It's got to be, the 24-hour tooth doctor. Okay? How long does it take to monetize? I already answered that earlier. Can this work in Canada? Heck yes. Crush it. And we'll get you all the domains you want from Canada expired, okay? And from you from the UK or France or wherever you're from, our scraping system pulls up domains from all over the world. So don't even worry about that kind of stuff. We totally have you covered. I know it's a bit unreal to realize because you should really be charged $5,000 for this. Seriously. Unbelievable. Did you say this includes the site theme as well? I'm not quite sure what that means. Site theme. Yes, we have our own domain name, and you can customize it. And we have the programmer is full-time. We have our own WordPress programmer, full-time on staff in the support desk ready to answer any of those kind of questions. They get forwarded right over to him. Okay, we're not some kind of fly-by company where we went to Elance and said, hey, let's get a programmer to design this and a programmer to make us this plugin, and then those programmers disappear. Trust me, in the real world, that's what happens. Okay, should we avoid using the city name? Yes. I don't have 5K, Chris. You don't need 5K. Laugh out loud. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do now is that we're running down on the questions. We still have a lot of people on the call. So what I'm going to do is, because, oops, I don't want to do that, is that I'm going to play this and then answer the questions quietly while we let you get to know some of our customers.